First, watch out.
Look at this. Upton pops it up. Left side, Elvis Anderson's backpedaling. He is under it. He puts it away. The Texas Rangers have won a postseason series.
The Texas Rangers are American League champions.
You didn't miss anything. What muted? What more is true, right? You didn't miss anything. Embarrassing tonight. Embarrassing game. Real close one. 10-2 Astros. Hey, the good news is Jacob Latz was available for tonight's game. That's the good news. Latzy is available tonight if needed. It's the good news, baby. So stupid, man. Yesterday, obviously, Rangers decided to punt and really focus their efforts on this series. And it was ugly tonight. Went the exact opposite that you thought it would. You thought Evo coming off a really big game against the Mariners, right? Probably the best start of the season for him. Not necessarily stats-wise, but absolutely in terms of clutching up, responding in a big game moment. Tonight, you couldn't have got a more opposite effort than what you got last weekend against the Mariners from Evo. So I do feel like this was one of those series, and I know I didn't champion this a lot in the shows yesterday or even on Wednesday, but really felt like this was a series that you needed to sweep. I think everybody's going to feel good 2 out of 3. But man, you just wanted to see the Rangers figure out a way with DeGrom, with Evo, with Rocker to win 3 ball games here. Rangers have really played pretty competitive baseball here over the past week and a half. This game, however, not so much. Nicky Lopez pitching, by the way. Speaking of non-competitive, watch Nicky throw up a 0. I know he gives up a base knock here. Watch him go ahead and throw up a 0. Just make it look easy. Yeah, this one, by the way, pop up. Oh, Diaz has got it. Lopez retires his first batter. Where to start? Rangers obviously will regroup tomorrow. They got DeGrom on the mound. And make or break. I feel like if they lose the DeGrom game, I can't see them coming back and winning a game on Sunday. I feel like you got to win tomorrow. Tomorrow's a must-win game. I just don't feel great about the prospects of Sunday if you don't win tomorrow. I think Kumar Rocker obviously is having some really nice moments in 2026, but man, I do not feel good about Sunday if we cannot get a dub tomorrow. All about the offense, no doubt. No doubt. I mean, look, we had 7, 8, 9 today. Let's see, Berger, Lopez, and Wins. Jake Berger hitting a $175 with a 585 OPS over his last 15 games. Over the last 30, it looks worse. Look, I know there's a lot of fans that are clinging to his home run total and to his RBI total. Maybe not a lot, but I know there's a number of fans that are. But I do think that Jake Burger is definitely one of those guys that I talked about in a video probably about a week ago. Just one of those guys, if you take Rangers, you take Texas off the chest, I don't think that a lot of us are really thinking this guy is not upgradable. I think the Rangers can upgrade at first base. I don't necessarily feel like Jake Burger has done a lot in 2 years to show you that he is the long-term first baseman of the future, although I know the organization loves him. I'm a little bit worried about Josh Young in general. I like the bat. Obviously, he's had a great season at the plate, but I know a lot of people have kind of talked about, moving Josh to first base, getting Burger out. Man, I don't really feel great about Josh Young at first base either, if I'm being totally honest. First base is a pretty active position. I think we can agree on that. First base is a pretty active position. You're going left, you're going right, you are running to the bag at times to go unassisted. I don't know if JJ down at first base is really the best fit either. He's probably a guy that, in all honesty, you'd much prefer to trade. He's 29 years old, still has a lot of value, and he's just an incredibly one-dimensional player at this point. If it's me, I'm probably trying to trade him. I'm not trying to convert Josh Young to first base. Maybe if you want to go DH, I guess I could see that. But it's really tough having a guy like Young on the roster that really can't play defense anywhere. First base is not really an ideal for Josh Young. Not nimble. A really tough position to play anyways. Not really a spot I want to move Young to, if I'm being totally honest. It's tough. There's a lot of emotion tonight when you lose a game like this. I want to try not to go over the top, but it's just how the Rangers season has gone, isn't it? It's these really bad losses. And then, they follow it up with a good win. And you're just kind of left shrugging your shoulders. What is going on with this team? For me, I really hope that tomorrow Rangers find a weird way to just bounce back and look incredible again. They've done that. They found a way to do it this year, but what a deflating loss after really what felt like a pretty decent week of baseball. Like the Rays series obviously didn't go the way we wanted it to, but all those games were close. You weren't getting blown out by the best team in the American League. All those games were close. I don't think a lot of people loved the management of yesterday. I know I did have some people kind of getting on me, hey, we need Lats this weekend. When I was suggesting, man, why wouldn't you have gone Lats in the 8th and 9th inning yesterday? Win a series. It's right there in front of you. It's a tie game in the late innings. Let's win it, man. You didn't even need Lats today. It's just really unfortunate. Really, really unfortunate game. Astros obviously going to be taking the silver boot, so they will own the tiebreaker over Texas. And the Rangers clearly can make that a non-issue depending on how they play down the stretch. I think I've said throughout the year, the tiebreak is important. It's mattered a couple of different times. The tiebreaker is what kept Houston out of the playoffs last year. So the tiebreaker does matter. I don't want to de-emphasize that to the point of, hey, this was a nothing burger tonight, losing the silver boot. I don't want to say that because it's not true. But all you have to do is be one win better than Houston, and the tiebreaker doesn't matter. I do think that the Rangers have their work cut out for them. Houston is not going to go away. The Mariners are not going to go away either. Curious to see what both of these teams do at the deadline. The Rangers are just an inconsistent ball club. We've said that all year long. It hasn't been more true over the last 48 hours. They're winning a game on Tuesday. We're all feeling great. They beat the Mariners 3 out of 4 games, culminating in Monday's win to win that series. You go to Tampa Bay, you win another game on Tuesday night, and everybody's flying high, man. You trade for Silseth and you trade for Ohapi, even more momentum building up, made that loss on Tuesday night feel that much lesser. And then Thursday happens, and then Friday happens. Really, really tough L. Gonna get to all the comments, gonna get to all you guys' questions and things that you may want to discuss. Tonight definitely is gonna ultimately end up being one of those games you just flush out. Eovaldi just has not been able to maintain consistency this year. A lot of bad pitches over the heart of the plate. A lot of pitches I'm sure he's going to want back. Fastball continues to be a pitch that gets hit pretty well. And then from there, Curvelo, I mean, look, he's up here in mop-up duty, man. I'm not too worried about his output. Seager does come back today. I do want to address a post, that I tweeted out mid-game. I don't think Corey Seager's the reason that the Rangers lost tonight by any means. I don't even think you could argue that genuinely, man. Like, that's totally disingenuous. Seager had a couple of hits today. I mean, look, he didn't have a great at-bat in the moment where you probably most needed him. You had, runners on first and second, 2 out, and I think 3-pitch strikeout is what ended up happening. Like, that to me is kind of the moment that you want back. Nice that Corey got a couple knocks. But no, like, this 11-2 loss isn't on Corey. But I did post, it just feels very reminiscent of September 2025. Little Rascals, 16-4. Rangers had won 16 of 20 games. And then Adolis Garcia comes back in Queens for the New York Mets game. I think that was on a Sunday afternoon. Rangers lost that game where Adolis returned from injury and then went into a pretty bad downward spiral. And clearly, again, just don't want to get this twisted at all. We're not saying that Corey is the reason the Rangers are losing 11-2, but it just feels like a bit of deja vu. A veteran comes back, the team's on a pretty good roll, and you instantly start looking real, real bad. I mean, look, he had a good night tonight. 2 hits. Like I said, would have preferred he not go 3-pitch strikeout in his biggest at-bat of the game, but hard to nitpick Corey Seager. Hard to nitpick him. The Rangers were very bad in a number of other areas. Couldn't help but think about that, though. Keep going. We've kind of rolled a little bit with some of the bottom of the order guys. We've already kind of talked through, Jake Berger, not in a good way right now. That's why he's hitting 7th at the moment. Evan Carter just grounded out, by the way. Evan Carter, he had a nice game today, too. I said that's the biggest positive from today is Evan Carter looking like Evan Carter again. I think he feels to me like he's not back to 2023 mode, but it feels like he's at least in the 2023 zip code. It's not exactly what it was in 2023 yet, but it feels like he's in the zip code. And that is good. Unfortunately, we've got other guys that are quite far away from that same zip code right now in the lineup. Jake Berger, quickly 0-2. Berg 0-3 with a strikeout on the day. Let's see. What did I miss? I'm going to scroll back through a couple of comments. Appreciate all you guys hanging out. I did address this. G-Man, what's good? I did address this as Jake Berger gets a base knock here. You have Skip, obviously, as the figurehead. He makes the lineups. He's the one that they're interviewing during the game. But Skip has been on the record multiple times saying that he talks with the front office every day about lineups, about pitching planning and matchups. And so as much as we want to blame Skip Schumacher for managing for tomorrow, I think that it's very fair to say that the entire organization is to blame for what we see sometimes as the managing for tomorrow type stuff. CY 100% in on the decision for Eovaldi to pitch today. I mean, we got to know that. We got to know that. CY was 1,000% involved in the decision for Eovaldi to go tonight instead of yesterday. CY was 1,000% involved with not using Jacob Latz yesterday, only using Latz in a very specific situation. These are things that, again, Skip has said quite openly that he discusses with CY, Ross Fenstermaker, and all those guys in the front office on a daily basis. And so I think, yeah, we can definitely blame Skip. He's a part of it. But we know that the front office makes a lot of input, has a lot of input into these decisions. It's too bad. I cannot say that I'm on board with the idea of punting a game yesterday that you easily could have won. I mean, it's a tie game late. Really, really unfortunate 48 hours here for Texas. By the way, you've got 11-2, top 9, 2 out. Nicky Lopez, the final hope here. And looks like that is going to do it. Lopez puts this one in play and is retired for the final out. Hot shot over to third base, but it is not going to sneak past the Astros third baseman, Joc Paredes. Nice play to end it. And that is all she wrote. Astros take control of first place. Rangers are going to drop this one. They are now 55-55 on the season. Look, you win 2 games, you can leave Houston in first place. Just got to win a couple of ball games here. But this one hurts. Hurts bad. Especially after all of the lining up and all of the thoughtfulness that went into this series. Yeah, I'll say this. You've got a lot of guys obviously overperforming. Nicky Lopez is having a great year so far, but he's dipped now below 290 after being well above 300 at a number of different points this year. Nicky Lopez is a nice player, but we know he's depth. He's definitely not a guy that you're going to typically roll out there every day like the Rangers have been doing. He's done well. Definitely not going to blame a Nicky Lopez for the reason why. And Lord Tubbington, I'm not saying you are either. But, man, it just gets more and more glaring when the offense as a whole is not playing well. And this offense has not been good this week. It's been a very abysmal offense, both in Tampa Bay and now the carryover into the Houston series. I know there's going to be a lot of people saying sell. You got to see what happens this weekend. I know that it's definitely, after a loss like tonight, at the forefront of everybody's mind. I think you have to see what happens tomorrow. You have to see what happens on Sunday. So you're not going to get a straight-up opinion from me here. I think the Rangers have to finish this series, and then I think you can kind of make a decision. So we'll see what they do Saturday. We'll see what they do Sunday. DeGrom tomorrow. I cannot sit here and say sell at this moment. There's just too much left in front of you. You're too close right now. This doesn't feel like a World Series winning team. I think I've said that a number of different times. Now, look, if they add the right pieces, maybe my mind can be changed on that, but it doesn't feel like a World Series team. The AL is there for the taking. That's the sad part. You've got a pretty mediocre American League at this point. And it's really going to come down to, I think, which teams are willing to take advantage. Maybe it's the Astros willing to go all in, make some big trades. Feels like it's right there for the taking. Whoever feels like taking on some money, ponying up a little bit. Like I don't know if anybody's going to be able to slay the Dodgers, but the AL, it feels like if you just push all your chips into the center, it's there. I just don't know if you are going to see the Rangers make a lot of big splashy moves at this point. They've already come out. I hate how they do this, by the way. I hate how they leak that they're not spending. They always do this. Like they're always trying to get out in front. They're always leaking. Someone is leaking. They're not going to spend. We're not taking on any more money. Like, why is that always getting leaked out? You know what I mean? I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but why is this always getting leaked out? Who is leaking it? That we're not spending money. That report came out, a couple of days ago? You know, it happened in the offseason too. It leaked out, Rangers, they don't expect to take on any money. Who's leaking this stuff? Like, I just don't love the way it all goes down. I do not love the way that it all goes down with Texas and the reporting, the money. Just not what you want to hear as a fan. Like, you know what? I'd rather hear nothing and then you end up doing nothing than you preemptively tell me, yeah, we're not going to spend very much money. At least give me false hope, man. Give me a little false hope, and I'd rather have that false hope in the form of, hearing no news. No news is good news. I mean, look, if we're not spending, we're not spending. That's not untrue. I'd rather not even hear the report to begin with. Hope they do spend. Corey, I hope they do. I would rather sell, to be honest with you. The American League is so bad, you kind of don't have a choice but to go for it. That's kind of the spot they're in. I think if the American League was competitive this year, you would probably be selling without question. I mean, I think if the American League and the other teams in the AL West were playing a lot better, you'd probably be in a totally different scenario, but you're not. You're just not. Twins got Dean Kramer from the Orioles. Twins are going all in, man. They just got Minter. Now they get Kramer. Jeez. What's going on TikTok? Let's see. We got some people trolling the chat, I see. Enjoy the win. Enjoy the win. Leave Diaz at catcher. Wins hasn't been that great. I mean, he hasn't played that much, Kachow, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, look, Austin Wins, Elias Diaz, they're not long-term answers. They've been like nice stories, like especially Elias Diaz, but not long-term answers. Yeah, the Yordan situation, I know some people with the bases loaded were saying, do the Barry Bonds treatment with Yordan. I mean, I don't know. Evo has not totally gotten shelled by Yordan in the past. I don't know if Evo, how down he would be with a move like that. Not that you get a choice. I mean, if the manager calls for the intentional walk, it's an intentional walk. But yeah, I just think there's not a lot of good that's going to come from Yordan Alvarez, bases loaded in any situation. No outs, 1 out, or 2 outs. Yuck. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Not a whole lot to do but play the game tomorrow. You got Jacob deGrom on the mound. You've got an opportunity to reclaim first place. That is the tough part because you have such a bad defeat tonight. Just so deflating. But the reality is you come back tomorrow, you win a baseball game, you're now back in first place. And so for me, I'm going to try my best not to go full meltdown mode. I feel like the emotion is depression right now for me. That's the emotion. There's no crash out coming. The emotion tonight for me is depression. Like yesterday was anger. And then it was actually a good thing that I couldn't go live right away. I had to go live a few hours after the game was over because of work. Probably a good thing because yesterday was anger. Like, what are we doing? Why are we punting a game that we could have won? We could have won a series yesterday in Tampa against one of the best teams in baseball, man. And it just would have been really nice to get that game. And this team is so weird. They might have gone into Houston today with whoever on the mound, Cal Quantrill or whatever. I don't know what the turn in the rotation would have been. They could have done a number of things. They could have had a bullpen game today, and this team is so weird. They might have just won a bullpen game today for no apparent reason. I definitely was angry yesterday. Today, it's just depressed. Depression, baby. Astros fans got to enjoy tonight. Got 2 more games left to play. Silver Boot obviously now goes to Houston, back to Houston once again. Silver Boot has not been back in Arlington in what feels like forever. I mean, look, at the end of the day, all that matters is what happens at the end of the season. But it hurts. Definitely hurts. And it hurts to lose it this way. Could tell we were in trouble. Colts fan, what's good? Evo didn't have it in the second inning. Yeah, Evo was piping pitches, man, right down the freaking middle. Ridiculous. Ugh. Yeah, Nate, what's good, man? Good to see you, my guy. Yeah, yesterday was anger. Today, just depressed, man. Justin Veely fired in the offseason. If we don't make the playoffs, I really don't know why you would come back with Veely. I mean, Veely is a Donnie Ecker carryover anyways, man. I don't think Veely is like the worst coach in the world. Don't take it the wrong way, but Veely has always ridden Donnie Ecker's coattails. Like, he did it in San Francisco. Donnie Ecker came to Arlington. Veely followed him. It's definitely an interesting thing with the connection between those two. I'd be rebooting entirely. I'd probably reboot even if they make the playoffs. I'd like to see them just go square one. We keep going back. Trade for a catcher and send him to AAA. Darnell, you really hate that trade, brother, don't you? Look, it's a move. It's not at all a World Series contention move, but it's a move, gets you a little depth. We'll see what the Rangers decide to do from here. I don't know how many big moves they're going to make. I do see them making a few more moves, maybe at about this level, the Silseth level. So, Darnell, I'm not too sure you're going to be much happier, my guy. But, yeah, I don't know if the Rangers are making a big splash. Taylor Ward doesn't do a whole lot for me to move the needle. If I'm just being totally real with you guys, I know that we've been in on Taylor Ward. It doesn't do a lot for me, but maybe it does for some fans. I think last year I was a little more excited about Taylor Ward. This year, it just feels like they need more than that, and I think that's what gets you the most. Just feels like you need a little bit more than a Taylor Ward, man. Yeah, I mean, Ohapi feels like could be definitely a guy that replaces Austin Wynns. I mean, I know Austin Wynns had the home run and had the nice game the other night on Tuesday, but yeah, it feels like you could probably be running Ohapi out there instead of Austin Wynns. Every day's a new day, Charles. That is true, man. That is true. And the Astros are a hot team right now. I will agree with that. West Texas, Mark, what's good, man? I will agree with that. The Astros are on a heater right now. There's no denying that. I mean, look, it helps when you play the Angels. Really does. But Astros, at this point, have won 9 of their last 10 games, and they're on a 4-game win streak. And this is a hot team right now. There's no doubt about that. Not what I want to say out loud, but it's just how the games have fallen. 9-1 over their last 10 4-game win streak. Astros finally getting healthy too. Yeah, that is another component to this. And this is kind of like what we've talked about here on the show as the Rangers continue to kind of meddle around 500. Like, you're going to see other teams. You're going to see Houston. You're going to see Seattle start picking it up. Cholo Pet, appreciate the gift, man. Thank you so much. Not needed, much appreciated, brother. You're going to see other teams in the AL West start picking it up. Not everybody is going to be mediocre forever, man. How has DeGrom done against Houston? I feel like he's definitely had his moments where he gets hit around a little bit. But I feel like he's obviously had some starts where things go really, really well, too. Now, I'll go to the numbers and let y'all know right now. We'll do a little DeGrom preview later on as well, last 10 minutes of the show. But DeGrom, you go to the game log against the Astros this year. 6 innings, 4 earned runs in Houston on May 16th. Thought he had one other start, but maybe it's just that one start. Yeah, he does. May 27th, 6 innings, 2 earned runs. So he has like one good start, one bad start. One good start, one bad start. And the one in Houston was the bad start. In Houston, he gave up 4 homers. That was the 4-homer game. Phew. DeGrom giving up 4 homers in a game just looks weird, man. Just doesn't sound right, doesn't look right. So we've got DeGrom kind of, again, Jekyll and Hyde a bit in his 2 starts against the Houston Astros. Tomorrow is Blanco, who I think has kind of been a bit of an opener, no? No, he started 2 games, but he hasn't been very good. And he's a right-hander, so at least we have Joc and Carter in the lineup tomorrow. Tomorrow feels like a game you should win. Ronel Blanco is not a bad pitcher, but definitely not a guy that should be unhittable. The Rangers should be able to get to this guy. And he has not been good in his last 2 games. Lost to the White Sox. It took a no decision against the Marlins before then. I see a no-hitter for Blanco tomorrow. Oh, man. Nothing shocks me anymore, Kate. Absolutely nothing shocks me anymore. Didn't realize Enron. Oh, yeah, Enron, man. That 100%. The big Enron scandal. Then they went to Minute Maid. Then they went to Daikin, right? Yeah, the radio guys, I should have tuned into them. I just had Apple TV on. I always say that, man. I always say I should tune into them more often. Usually at the beginning of the year, I feel like I was a lot, and then I think I'm just getting lazy. Usually guys with an 8 ERA will no-hit us. I will say this. After these losses, you guys always come in with the fire takes, man. You guys always find a way to cheer me up a little bit. Look, I'll do what I can to contribute as well. Not a lot of positives to take away from today. We did talk about Evan Carter. Corey Seager had a couple of knocks. Joc Pederson hits another homer. Those are the bright spots. Tomorrow, you win a game, you're back in first place. It's as simple as that. It really is. You win a game tomorrow, and you're back in first place. You win a game Sunday, and you're a couple of games up, right? A game and a half. To me, that is 100% that mentality that you've got to have this team take, and I'm going to try to take it. It's not coming to me easy right now, but I am going to try to take that mentality into tomorrow. Yeah, what's wild about the Apple TV is I'm pretty sure they shoot all of the game on, the iPhone 17 Pro Maxes. Were they, is that, I know I caught that in another one, but I'm pretty sure they shoot that entire game on an iPhone. It's pretty wild. And iPhones are crazy with the camera capabilities. They don't come stock like that. You have to adjust it in your settings. But if you have an iPhone, the camera actually is crazy. You just have to fix the settings on it. It takes up a crap ton of memory. So, buyer beware on that. You turn up your camera to studio film mode, you're going to have 0 memory space unless you have the terabyte. But yeah, I think Apple TV pretty much shoots all of their stuff on an iPhone. It is kind of cool. But yeah, look, I forgot totally that you can turn on the radio guys on Apple TV. That's awesome. Deadline is Monday. This team has literally shown nothing of a fight. If I'm CY, I'm selling. Yeah, I think that they're going to have to see what happens on Saturday, Sunday, McJ. Good to see you, my guy. They've got to see what happens on Saturday, Sunday, y'all. I know that isn't what a lot of people want to hear tonight, but you've got to finish this series out. And then I think you can make a decision after the dust has settled Sunday night. You can make a decision what we're going to do one way or the other. You win the next 2 games. I just don't know how you can sell. You can't sell a game and a half up first place. You just can't. I know maybe you're saying, yes, you can. That would be pretty unprecedented, man. You're first place in the division by a game and a half, and you go ahead and sell your best players. I mean, that just doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't think the Rangers are going to be able to do it. That being said, I think they could sell some players. We talked about potentially trading Joc Pederson. I think the expiring contracts are interesting to sell, but I will say you're not going to see the Rangers sell if they are a game and a half up on the division. CY definitely is going to make that decision. And I think, again, after Sunday night's game or after Sunday's game, you're going to at least have the clarity that you need. If you get swept this series, I still see a world where CY does a little buying, but maybe to a much lesser extent. Yeah, I don't think they're spending lots either. Don't get it twisted. I don't think they're going to break the bank, but I think you could see Texas potentially give away some of like the top 15, maybe a top 10 or 2 prospect to go and get some upgraded veteran help. I don't think you're going to see like a Walcott get traded. I do think some MLB depth could get traded. I don't know how much value Josh Smith has. I don't know how much value, Cam Cauley, Alejandro Osuna have, but nevertheless, man, Alejandro Osuna out of the lineup today. Feels like every day Osuna's out of the lineup isn't a great day offensively, but, I'm a little biased. So I think Osuna, though, wasn't he like one of the only guys that actually got on base yesterday? And then didn't he play on Tuesday and they ended up winning like 4-1 as well? I don't know. I feel like they've got to find a way to get Osuna in the game a little bit more. Really what they should be doing with Berger playing so poorly is they should be trying to get Alejandro in at first base a little bit. I know we haven't talked about this a ton. I don't know how much Osuna is actually working out, but if you're not a fan of Jake Berger right now, I think you need to start getting loud about Osuna potentially playing some first base. Not really the ideal first baseman. What is Osuna? 5'7", 5'6", something like that. Not really the ideal first baseman. But, neither was Josh Smith. Neither is Ezekiel Duran. And both those guys have played first base for us multiple times over the years. I just need a bat, man. At this point, I'll take the subpar defense from Osuna. I do think there's going to be some teams that would be interested in him. I'm not saying he's like a prize of the deadline here, but I do think there are some interesting potential players that the Rangers have, MLB depth, that you could trade. Same thing, like I said, with some of the expiring contracts. You could either use those to get better in other areas, or you can, in the case of Joc Pederson, you could use Joc as a bit of a salary dump so you can take on additional salary. Like, for me, I definitely feel like at this moment in time, everybody who's not going to potentially be back next year on contract, you got to at least be taking phone calls on. All right, we keep going. Platoon Joc Berger at first base to open up the DH spot. I would love to see the DH spot opened up. I would love to see the DH spot opened up. You guys know that, though. Justin Foscue, 3 hits in his last 19 days. 3 hits in the last 19 days for Justin Foscue. Just not good. I know Foscue has not played a ton, but nevertheless, I definitely would like the Rangers to not have this like 2-man DH system. And Joc has definitely hit well. I don't think anybody's hating on Joc, but it's just tough when you've got one dude that really can only DH, and then you've got another dude that's your primary DH when it's a lefty starter, and Foscue isn't really a guy you love in the field either. It's tough. It's tough, man. The fact that I don't feel vitriol about the loss is an issue. I'm sorry, Matt, but we all take these things differently. I think I've been really honest with you guys about my wide range of emotions over the course of the season. There are some losses where it pisses you off and you are angry. You do have some vitriol. But then there's games like this one. To me, this game was over quickly. Like you had a lot of time to process it. Even if you were pissed off at the beginning, the game was over so fast. You literally had the rest of the innings to mourn it, to get over it. I think sadness is probably more of what I would say how I'm feeling right now, man. Just depression. It just sucks that this team, right when you think they're turning a corner, they do something like this. That, to me, is what kills me. It's just consistency. We've been talking about this all season long, man. They just can't stay consistent. That, to me, is the hardest thing to take is this season, this division, the AL, it's there for the taking. And this team just refuses to take the bull by the horns and really have a strong grip on winning games, on winning this division. It's depressing. So, look, if you're upset that I'm not more angry tonight, can't control how the game moves me, but that's how it's moving me right now. We keep going. Thought we had a chance when we were chipping away in the sixth. Glad Seager seems healthy. DeGrom's on the bump tomorrow, Gerald. I got to say, I never really felt like the Rangers had a shot in this one. Like, even when it was 6-2, I really wasn't like, oh, maybe. This game just didn't have comeback feel. It really didn't have comeback feel all over it. But that's just me. Charles, yes, sir. Absolutely, always, man. Any prospect should be on the table. I think a lot of guys are not untouchable. I think there's a number of players that the Rangers would be willing to trade. I'm with you on this. I do think the Rangers should be at least taking calls on Joc Pederson. I don't think you have to, give him up for half a bag of chips, but I think if you are getting a team that wants to really overpay a little bit for Joc, I think you have to be open to it. If you can get a little relief of that salary space, maybe repurpose that in other areas. We always say this, at the end of the day, Joc Pederson is a part-time player, and you can really eliminate him from the Rangers lineup if you mix and match. And the Rangers do that a lot with their pitching matchups. The Rays basically controlled which version of the Rangers they wanted to face in that last series, didn't they? They eliminated Joc Pederson. They eliminated Evan Carter. When you take Joc Pederson and Evan Carter out of a series by throwing left-handers, we can sit here and point to the stats all we want. Oh, the Rangers actually have like a good OPS against lefties. It's actually a little better than against righties. I just think you say things out loud sometimes. If a team is able to take both Evan Carter and Joc Pederson out of the lineup just by throwing a lefty, that's not good. And so the way that the Rangers use Joc Pederson, it does make me feel like this guy's just a platoon player part-time. And in a 3-game wild card series, you could totally take Joc Pederson out of the series just by throwing your lefties. Unless you just have a dog crap, terrible left-handed starting pitching set, man. But we know there's teams that are going to make the playoffs in the AL that very clearly don't have that going on. Joc is definitely prime trade bait. Even if we take 2 out of 3, I've said you can win and you can make the playoffs without Joc Pederson. And the reason is exactly what I just said. Joc is a part-time player. And more teams, I really do feel more and more teams, if they have the capability. The Mariners don't have the capability. They have a bunch of right-handed starters. But I think you are going to see teams moving forward, if they can finagle it a little bit so they can get their lefties out there against us in a 3-game set. You eliminate one of the best hitters in Joc Pederson instantly. And the way Evan Carter's swinging the bat right now, you eliminate another one of the best. Young is a better third baseman and hitter than Berger. Young is not a great third baseman. Dalton, he hasn't been good in the field all year long. And there's, a number of different statistics to back that up. During, a number of different shows, I think I've pointed that out. But, with the bat, obviously, he's having a great year. I don't think there's any denying dude is swinging a hot bat. But, yeah, I would love for this to be JJ's very last year at the hot corner. I do not want to see another year of JJ out at third base. I think he either needs to transition to a DH role, or I think the Rangers need to see if they could potentially work out a trade for him. I don't think Josh Young is moving forward going to continue on some meteoric rise. In some ways, I do think Josh Young's stock is at its highest point, and that's with Josh being a very one-dimensional player. He's not fast. He's not well-conditioned. He's not good out in the field right now. Really, the only thing Josh is doing well is at the plate, and that's a big part of it. That's a big thing. But Josh is a very one-dimensional player. I don't know why you wouldn't be at least a little bit concerned what you've seen from JJ this year. He's gotten slower, and every year he's been in the big leagues. The calf injury, I don't know what you could point to, but again, Josh just does not strike me as, being super invested into conditioning. I'm sure he would argue and try and post all the stuff that he's doing, but I mean, look, it's hard. You're losing speed significantly every year of your career, and you're 29 years old. You're going to be 29 years old. So you're almost 30. You're in the prime, supposedly, of your athletic career, and every year you've been in the league, you've gotten slower and slower and slower. Like, Josh Young is a one-dimensional ball player right now. And I think that he could definitely have a spot next year, maybe doing some DH stuff. Yeah, I think the Rangers might have to eat it a little bit. Maybe he still plays third base here and there. But it's like, who would you rather have at third base right now? Ezekiel Duran or Josh Young? Like, I'd rather have Duran. If we're just talking defense, I don't think it's even close. Like, that play that Zeke made today, is Josh making that play? Ball's probably like skipping over the glove, or, Josh is going to have a tough time getting up quick, and the arm is nowhere near where Zeke's is. There's no way JJ makes that play that Zeke made early in the game today. So Josh and Joc, maybe package those guys. Brady Ebel. We'll see. I mean, look, you could get really creative here. I've been on the record, though, just so we're clear, I just would like to see the Rangers get more athletic and more durable. I think right now there's a lot of guys on the team that are fragile. Wyatt Langford fragile, Evan Carter fragile, Corey Seager fragile, Josh Young a little fragile. There's a lot of fragile players on this team. DeGrom, Evo, I'd throw them in the mix. And that's not saying they don't have heart. I mean, Evo's a dog. I know he got beat up tonight, but Evo's a dog. But you know what? The body betrays Evo a little bit too. And that's more, I think, age than anything. Rangers just have so many fragile players right now. And I'd love to see, it doesn't have to be like full-blown rebuild, but when the Rangers start retooling the roster, please put a priority. Please put a priority on athleticism and durability. I want guys that fly around the diamond. I think about the Rays, think about the Marlins, both Florida teams. Those teams are fast, athletic. They fly around the field. And you've got a injury-prone issue with the number of guys on the roster right now. It's hard to tell that sometimes when a player's coming out of high school or college. Like, I've talked to a couple of guys that, run accounts for, some of the Florida teams, like, Florida Gators baseball, stuff like that. And a couple of those guys told me, like, Wyatt was totally healthy in college. I think he had one issue, like, where he got nailed in the groin with the ball and had to miss a little bit. But then he just came back out a few days later and played anyways. So the Wyatt stuff has kind of come out of nowhere. The Corey Seager stuff has always kind of been there. Rangers just have to get a little bit more durable, a little bit more athletic. Duran versus Young at third base is Carter, Langford, and center field debate. Matt, really? Really? You think Duran and Young are that close in terms of their defensive prowess? Agree to disagree, man. Young is not even on the same level as Duran defensively. Like, it's not even close. It's not even close. Josh Young took a huge step back this year defensively. I don't even know what happened. Kenny, I'm with you on this. McJ Duran, I think, is going to be a guy probably that sticks, cheap, controllable, can play everywhere. I mean, you're not wrong. Duran, I think, definitely would have some value. I don't think the Rangers are going to trade him away. Kenny, I'm with you, though. Good to see you, my guy. I do think Walcott next year, playing third, playing short, needs to happen. I don't know if Corey's going to move off a shortstop, but, man, I think Walcott needs to be either your shortstop or your third baseman next year. I don't really think that should be debatable among Rangers Nation. I think we all got to get behind this. Like, you can't do another season, another full season of JJ at third base. It's been bad this year. He's just getting older. I don't think he's going to be as bad. If you put him there again, I don't think he's going to be as bad as he was this year, but he's still not going to be better defensively than Walcott. I'd much rather have Walcott at third or Walcott at shortstop. Corey to second. Maybe Corey to third. Maybe he does the A-Rod thing, right? You go short to third. I could see that being potential. Cade says, I want Berger to learn third again. I mean, Cade, we've kind of talked about this. I think there's a reason why they moved Berger off of third base, though, right? I don't think Berger was ever really a defensive prodigy over there at the hot corner. Otherwise, why would they have moved him, right? Corey's played third, but never second. I mean, Corey moving to third, I think, could be the best option, especially if Walcott is going to break camp. We'll see what happens. Trade Seager for a prospect haul. I think they're talking about Seager in a Seager trade right now. I do think the front office is debating that. Will they do it? I hope it's only for the right price if they do it. I know some people are very gung-ho, trade Seager, trade him. I was actually reminded of the Yu Darvish trade. I think today is the anniversary of the Yu Darvish trade to the Dodgers where we got like Willie Calhoun and a box of rocks. That's the kind of trade I don't want to see the Rangers make for, Corey Seager getting shipped out of town. Like, don't trade Corey Seager just to trade him, man. Like, you got to get some value. So if somebody wants to overpay, somebody wants to give you a really, really nice deal for Corey, great, but please don't trade Corey Seager for a box of rocks. I mean, look, the Yu Darvish trade killed me. And I know you had his injury issues. Shoot, he's going through one of them right now. But, I mean, they never should have let Yu Darvish get into a contract year. I mean, it's not even a contract year for Corey Seager. I don't want to go down a Yu Darvish hole, though he is one of my favorite Rangers. But you can't repeat that. You can't just trade Corey just to trade him. Feels like that's kind of what they did with you. They kind of just traded him to trade him. Not one of JD's best moves. Look, I'm a JD truther. John Daniels, I think, is a big reason why we won in 2023, even though he wasn't with the team officially. Big reason. I mean, look, he drafted Carter, drafted Josh Young, traded for Adolis, signed Corey Seager, signed Marcus Semien. I mean, look, there's so many fingerprints that John Daniels had on that 2023 team. The Yu Darvish trade was not one of his best moments. Not one of his best moments, in my opinion. Let's see. Yeah, absolutely. Yu Darvish, I wish he would have been a Ranger for life. He was one of my favorites. In fact, I was looking through, I always do, you guys know my This Day in Rangers History posts. I do those like every morning when I wake up. And I think the one of them for tomorrow, one of the options for tomorrow, Yu Darvish had a 14 strikeout game against the Angels. And I think that was 2013, August 1st, 2013. So we're talking 13 years ago. Isn't that crazy? Yu Darvish coming into the league. That was 13 years ago. Time just flies by, man. It's crazy. But yeah, 14 strikeout game for Yu Darvish. I think it was like his third or fourth in 2013. And he ended up breaking Nolan Ryan's record for most 14 strikeout games in a season. Something like that. That's wild. Matt, I'm with you. It's just The Yu Darvish trade kills me. I remember I actually got on Rangers radio that day. And I think that actually kind of birthed what I do now. Who was it that did all the Rangers post-game show? Was it Pease? Pease, yeah. Did you guys ever listen to Pease in the post-game shows? I got on. Pease was taking phone calls. I got on, and he was doing phone calls after the Yu Darvish trade, and I got on and just like railed on the Yu Darvish trade. I wonder what Pease is doing these days, man. He was good. I always liked listening to him in the post-game radio shows. Anyways, I don't know if I'm muted right now or not. My mic is like killing me right now. What's new? I hope y'all can still hear me. Either way, back on track. I don't know if the Rangers are going to go do anything crazy with the trades. That would actually really surprise me. I think they might go and get some depth pieces. Like, I could see that happening. But I don't know if they're going to do anything splashy. I really don't. It would shock me. I'm glad y'all can hear. I obviously have issues with the technology. That is well documented. Y'all keep me on my toes. You only move Seager if you get a similar haul for what the A's got from Miller last year, and he isn't worth that right now. I'd probably take it down like a notch from there. But I'm with you. The sentiment is there. Like, don't give up Corey Seager unless you're getting a good deal. I don't think they're going to get a Mason Miller haul for Corey Seager. But I think, again, we're in lockstep on the thought behind it, the sentiment behind it. Don't trade Corey Seager for a box of rocks. Don't even trade him for like a kind of fair deal that you can talk your way into. You only trade Corey Seager if you're getting a good deal. That's it. What package do I think the Rangers would have to put together for Skubal? Alec, what's good, man? Thanks for the comment. From what I've heard, I think before we even get into the hypotheticals on that, on a Skubal deal, I've heard that Skubal asking price is very high. So I'd imagine right now you would have to trade Scarborough at minimum in a Skubal trade. I think you would probably have to deal Santos. Santos is a top 5 right now. I think you would be giving them probably 3 top 10 pitching prospects. They would probably ask for Walcott. You could probably, I think, rebuff. But unfortunately with Skubal, it's going to be a bidding war. It's going to be a bidding war with Skubal. So you're going to see a lot of teams get in the mix, but how many are actually going to pony up with all the prospects and everything? I think there's a couple other teams that can get in the mix, but I think the Dodgers definitely have the advantage. It's well said. Oh, Matt, I'm with you on this, man. My bad, dude. It's hard sometimes on the live, so forgive me, brother. It's hard, like on the fly, reading through the comments perfectly. But yeah, this actually is a good comp. Like with Zeke, you're getting good defense. Obviously, Zeke's had a pretty good year offensively, but I think you're definitely getting a little bit worse offensively, JJ to Zeke. How much? Debatable. Just like we would talk about, like, how much with Langford and Carter are you falling off defensively? Not a bad comp. Appreciate you taking the time to explain that, man. Yeah, I don't think that they're going to roll with JJ next year at third base. That would really surprise me. It's not going to shock me if they do it, but it just feels like that is the move. Find some kind of alternative role for him. It's been bad this year. It has not been good at the hot corner for JJ. All right, what else we got? We're getting to about the hour mark here on the show. Holly, appreciate you hanging out. I know you've been commenting a little bit here and there. I have a feeling Skubal goes to the Dodgers. Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people are seeing. It's not going to be surprising. Skubal to the Dodgers. And look, I'm not going to melt down. I think I've told you guys this. Like, the Dodgers, you're going to have to face them in the World Series if you make it that far. I'm not going to melt down over Skubal going to the Dodgers. And I'm a big believer any team can win in a 7-game series. Any team can win in a 7-game set. The Rangers showed that time and time again when they won it all in 2023. Shoot, the Blue Jays showed it last year. Blue Jays should have beat the Dodgers last year. They didn't. They couldn't finish the job. They choked. Dodgers took advantage. Credit to them. You can beat the Dodgers in a 7-game set, even with Skubal. Skubal can have a bad night. You know, you have Glasnow, bad night. Ohtani gets a little cold, and you beat the Dodgers in a 7-game set. It happens. But I definitely think you're going to see a lot of melting down across MLB fan bases if Skubal makes it out to LA. Skubal and the Miz, the Brewers would have a great chance. Yeah. Miz plus Skubal would be a lot of fun. More reluctant to move Seager, though, because it feels kind of rare that a prospect actually works out. I mean, we're in lockstep on that, my guy. Like, I'm not Mr. Ooh, we got, you know, the Nationals' 10th best prospect. I don't really get pumped up about acquiring prospects. I get pumped about acquiring solid major league talent, but I can't say I get really jacked up about acquiring, you know, the A's number 7 prospect. I mean, look, you can talk yourself into anything, but I hope you get what I mean. Let's see. Late to the party. Do the Rangers sell if they get swept? I'm going to say no. They probably still buy. Like, if they get swept, that means they're going to be 2.5 games out. 2.5 games out. I find it hard to believe that CY is going to say to himself, man, we're 2.5 games out. We have no chance. I find that really hard to believe. I don't think that you're going to see the Rangers sell even if they get swept. If you're just making me draw a conclusion right now, I think the Rangers are probably going to still buy. Now, how much they buy or what they sell, I do think is predicated a little bit on the results of this series. But I just don't see them not buying. I think they will buy. It's just to what extent. And if they win the next 2 games, I think you'll maybe see them feel even that much more confident. The Angels trade, yeah, I mean, I said it in a tweet, but why on earth wouldn't you ask for Joe Adell if you're CY? Like, if you're CY, why on earth did you not ask for Joe Adell? The Angels are going to give you Ohapi and Silseth for Arredondo, who was like having a decent year down at A-ball. Like, he had like a 370 OBP. Like, that's pretty solid. I know the OPS wasn't absurd, but I mean, the OBP was like 372 at the time of the trade. Arredondo, not a scrub, but definitely like not a guy that you're like in love with as a prospect at this point. I wish that they would have tried to get Adell on the plane, man. Like, why on earth wouldn't you have even asked? Taylor Ward is interesting, man. I would have been a big fan of the Rangers pulling off an Adell trade. I feel like Ohapi does get back up to the big leagues. My thought is, you know, he's struggling right now. I think they might be trying to just reset him a little bit. But I don't think that they're going to keep rolling with Austin Wins if he's not playing well. I mean, let's just like go to Ohapi's numbers right here and let's just see if there's some validity to what I'm saying. So Ohapi, last 15 games is batting $125. So, I mean, I understand why they sent him down. He's batting 125 with a 301 OPS over his last 15 games. A 301 OPS. I can understand why they sent Logan Ohapi to AAA. I think they're just trying to reset him, and then hopefully he can come up and be a contributor later on in the season. When the Austin Wins train, you know, runs out of coal, I think you're going to see Ohapi get the call back up. Although Ohapi, don't, like I told you guys, don't go to the Baseball Savant page. It's bad defensively. It's bad offensively. Ohapi's got some upside, but man, it is ugly right now. It's ugly. I know there's some people excited about Ohapi. I can't say I'm one of them, although he seems like a great dude. I know some people don't like that analysis, so I won't go in too hard on that, but seems like a likable guy. But man, I think he's got to figure out that 301 OPS down at AAA. 3 trades so far, just FYI. Yeah, I think you're seeing the calm before the storm. I think you're going to see a lot of trades pick up over the next, 50, 60 hours. If Joc can bounce back, so can Ohapi. I mean, to be fair, Joc's peak was probably always a little bit better, was definitely better than Ohapi's, but I like the attitude, my guy. I like the attitude. Seager, Young, Langford, Walcott, give me Bobby Witt Jr. Somebody, who was it that asked on the show the other night, would you give up Walcott for Bobby Witt straight up? Yes. I'm sorry, Walcott is awesome in AA ball. Bobby Witt Jr. is awesome at the major league level. Of course, I would take Bobby Witt Jr. straight up for Sebastian Walcott right now. This one did hurt. DeGrom absolutely going to need to carry tomorrow. That's the beautiful thing. Tomorrow, Rangers could win. Sunday, Rangers could win. The Astros fans definitely will have the silver boot. That's unfortunate. But it didn't matter in 23. Hopefully it won't matter again in 26. I think that's the attitude and the perspective you got to have. Now, let's go ahead and let's take a look at tomorrow's matchup. DeGrom against Houston. You got Allen 0 for 2, Altuve 3 homers, 4 for 16 lifetime. Yordan Alvarez, a DeGrom crusher, man, a DeGrom destroyer. 556 average against DeGrom with 3 homers. Whew. You've got DeZenzo 2 for 4. Yainer Díaz 3 for 9 with a bomb. Paredes 0 for 10. Peña 308 average, home run, 13 ABs. Smith 0 for 6. Trammell 3 for 5. Vasquez 2 for 11. Sorry, trying to do the fast math. 2 for 11. Seawalk 2 bombs against DeGrom, but an 0.83 batting average. He's 2 for 24 with 2 homers. Seawalk, Christian Walker. Wade, Spence, no ABs. And then on the other side, Blanco against the Rangers. You have Berger 2 for 6 against Blanco. Carter 1 for 4. Cawley, Foscue, Lopez, Osuna wins, no ABs. You have Duran, who is 0 for 2. Diaz 0 for 2 as well. Wyatt Langford 3 for 12. Brandon Nimmo 0 for 1 against Blanco. Astros probable starter for tomorrow. Pederson 1 for 3 with a bomb. There you go. Seager 1 for 12. Maybe whoever said no hitter incoming tomorrow, you weren't totally wrong. I mean, look, I don't know. I think the Rangers actually probably find a way to be productive tomorrow. I'd be betting on that just because this team is so freaking weird. They might just reel off a big dub tomorrow for no apparent reason. They're going to be favored with DeGrom on the mound. You just hope they can bounce back, man. They go ahead and just totally crap the bed tomorrow. Yeah, you're gonna be seeing a lot of people negative about this team, myself included. I'm not going to be happy if we come out and just get bulldozed tomorrow like we did today. Magic Mike, that was you. Blanco no-hitter incoming. That's hilarious. TLC, what's good, man? Back-to-back innings, runners on first and second, did nothing. Yeah, stop me if you've heard this before. Rangers had runners on first and second with less than 2 outs and did nothing. Enjoy Mexico, man. Look, you might just want to take a little break from Rangers baseball and enjoy those beautiful Mexico beaches, baby. I'm not even kidding you, man. I was on vacation, I think, for the last Houston series where we got spanked in Houston. Feels like in Arlington, we don't do half bad, But, man, in Houston, it has not been great this year. That 4-game set in May was brutal. Absolutely brutal. Father time catching up to Evo. Yeah, it is. I mean, it is. Look, I don't love throwing around the word washed. I really don't, because I think Evo is still better than a lot of 20-somethings in the league. So I don't want to say washed, man. But, yeah, like, Father time's catching up. DeGrom, same thing. Like, these guys used to throw triple digits every pitch. Now they're throwing 95, 96. DeGrom, I know, still pumps it, 98, 99 at times. But, yeah, Father time's catching up a little bit, no doubt. But, again, I'll take DeGrom and Eovaldi over a lot of 20-somethings in this league. Yeah, maybe. Although we got Bobby coming in from Facebook. We've got a bunch of people on TikTok. On YouTube, I think I have it set up a little differently, like subscriber only. I mean, all you have to do is like literally subscribe to the YouTube page and then you can comment. But I've found that it's helped at least filter people out a little bit. But you guys know, I never care about people coming from other teams. Like, it's all good. It really is. I mean, I'm not always going to answer and respond, but I definitely love hearing from other people. We always give Astros fans a little bit more of a hard time, just being totally real. But, yeah, I think that has something to do with it. Unless you subscribe to the page, I think you don't have the ability to comment. And by the way, I mean, again, click a button, subscribe. We're not talking about a subscription like pay money and then you have to comment, right? We're just talking about subscribing to the page. It's simple. Crazy how the two teams seem to play better against each other on the home fields. It was the complete opposite. Remember, I mean, think about 2023, right? Rangers dominated in Houston. Astros dominated in Arlington. John, enjoy the win, man. Enjoy the win. Yeah, Denny, that's what I said. The biggest silver lining from today is Evan Carter appears to be sniffing the 2023 zip code. Again, we're not saying he's 2023 mode right back at it, but he appears to be at least sniffing the 2023 zip code again, which is a great thing. Well, all right, y'all. Here's the drill. Here's the deal. Tomorrow, reaction video coming out tomorrow, probably sometime in the late morning, early afternoon. Appreciate you commenting, liking, sharing it with somebody who you know is a diehard Rangers fan. We will be back in action, 8th, 9th inning. Tomorrow's game is at 6:10 p.m., and it is on Rangers Sports Network or Buzzer, whatever you got. So we're not getting a Fox game. Shocking. I figured this would definitely be a Fox game with just the nature of the series and also the fact that these teams are fighting for first place, but no Fox game tomorrow. That might actually be a blessing in disguise, but the Rangers will be playing, like I said, 6:10 p.m. Texas time, and I'll be live probably by 8th or 9th inning once again. That's the plan. We're sticking to it. Appreciate all you guys. Hope you have a great rest of your Friday night. Wish we could have done this under better circumstances, but that's the beauty of this show, man. Rain or shine, win or loss, we're here. I'd much rather be talking to y'all about wins, but you know what? That's a part of being a fan. That's a part of being a diehard. You're not just showing up when the weather is fair. You're showing up regardless of the result. And that's what I appreciate about all you guys. And I just want to say thank you so much for your support. Thank you for the comments tonight, the likes. Thank you for the people that shared the live. And thank you for the people that are going to tell other people about the live. Share one of my posts. I appreciate anything that you can do to help keep the channel growing. It means a lot. Have a great rest of your Friday night. And as I always say to end every show, God bless and go Rangers.